Hello student, welcome back. Today we are going to discuss History Chapter 1 French Revolution Part 2. In our last session, we discussed about the political causes. Now, in this session, we are going to discuss about the economic crisis. So, let's start. Economic crisis. French economy was based on revenue from land and on feudal system. During Louis XVI, France has 2 billion livre debt. The government charged high taxes from third estate. In 1776, France helped 13 American colonies to gain their independence from Britain. Leaders who gave the state credit, lenders who gave the state credit now began to charge 10% interest on loan. The French government spent and 43% of its budget on interest payment alone. So, in this economic crisis, the long years of war had drained the financial resources of France. Added to this was the cost of maintaining an extravagant court at the immense palace of Versailles. Under Louis XVI, France helped already we read this, France helped the 13 American colonies to gain their independence from the Britain. That is the common enemy, Britain. The war added more than billion livres to a debt that had already risen to more than 2 billion livres. Now, what is the meaning of here livre? Livre is a unit of currency in France discontinued in 1794. This is a France currency, livre. So, 2 billion livre debt at that time France was beared. So, the lenders who gave the state credit, they now started charging 10% interest on loan. So the France government was obliged to spend an increasing percentage of its budget and on interest payment alone. So whatever the budget is there, of that budget 43% of their budget they paid as a interest payment alone. So to meet its regular expense such as the cost of maintaining an army, the court, running government offices or universities, the state was forced to increase tax. Right? So all this maintenance cost high. So government has to oblige to raise the taxes. Now, next topic is subsistence crisis. Now, what is the meaning of subsistence crisis? An extreme situation where the basic means of livelihood are endangered. Means such an extreme situation in that people can't survive. They are unable to fulfill their even basic necessities. This type of situation is known as subsistence crisis. Now, the struggle for survival. See, by 1789, the population of France had reached 28 million from 23 million in 1715. So, population rose rapidly from 23 million to 28 million. This led to rapid increase in demand for food grains. So, as the population is rising, demand for food grain is also rising. And production could not keep pace with the growing demand. Production was as it is, so production cannot cope up the situation as the growing demand of the food grain. Price of bread, that is the bread at the time staple diet, rose rapidly. So day by day the prices of the basic necessities like bread and all these basic necessities prices are hiking, prices are rising. Majority of population who work as a laborer had fixed wages. The population working class, that workers, they are having their fixed wages. According to the pricing prices, they are not rising their wages, they are not getting more wages, but their wages was fixed. The wages could not keep pace with rising prices, so wages cannot maintain the gap of the rising prices, unable to fulfill this gap. The gap between the rich and the poor widened. So because of this rising prices, the gap between the rich and the poor widened. During drought and hail, the situation would worsen as the harvest would reduce. So some natural calamities happen at that time, hail and drought. So because of that calamities, harvest would reduce. So because of that also, poor suffered a lot. So this led to subsistence crisis. All these situation is responsible behind that subsistence crisis. An extreme situation, already I had given you definition starting of this module, that subsistence crisis is what? An extreme situation where the basic means of livelihood are endangered. Means workers, poor can't able to fulfill their basic necessities. So this type of situation is was known as subsistence crisis. So already I told you population is rising, demand of food grain is also rising, and production is reducing because of the calamities, and this led to the prices rise, hiking price. Now next, third stage main problem in representation. So what is the main problem third state people faced at that time? The largest group with only one vote in the state general. So group was very large as compared to the first state and the second state, that is the clergy and the nobility. The third state having more population, and they are not having, according to their population, they are not having their voting rights in the state general. Only one vote. They are having right of the one vote. So third state wanted each person vote to count. So they demanded that each person will get right to cast their vote. So to protest the unfair voting, the third state tells the king to get lost. So they don't want to listen now the king, and they told get lost, and they make their own government calling themselves the National Assembly. They form their own government, and that government they had given name, that is National Assembly. Now, in that tennis court oath, they this is the one hall, big hall. So they then they met at a nearby indoor tennis court, and they swore never to separate until they created a constitution. So the representative of the third state viewed themselves as spokesmen for the whole French nation. And on 20th June, they all assembled in the hall of an indoor tennis court. One hall, big hall, tennis court hall, they assembled over there in the ground of Versailles. They declared themselves, already I told you, they declared themselves as a National Assembly and swore not to disperse till they had drafted a constitution for France that would limit the powers of the monarch. So why they want to form the constitution? They want to limit the power of the monarch. Now they don't want to suffer more. So they started protesting against the monarch. Now next is Great Fear. So in this Great Fear, peasants revolted. This happened on July 20, 1789. There were rumors spread, rumors that the king and the nobles were sending their military to attack peasants, pillage their land, and put down the revolt. So when rumors spread over there, the third state acted on a rumor that the king was planning a military coup against the National Assembly. So they already formed their National Assembly. Now one rumor spread over there, and they acted according to that rumor that the king was planning to attack on their National Assembly. King ordered their military coup to attack on the National Assembly, against this National Assembly. So the third state attacked the Bastille. Bastille was a big palace, right? So the third state attacked the Bastille because it has gunpowder and weapons. They need to fight the revolution. So finally, a group of several hundred people marched towards the eastern part of their city and stormed the fortress prison. This Bastille was a prison, fortress prison. On that, they started attacking, where they hoped to find hoarded ammunition. Means what? They thought that here weapons was kept by the monarch. So they want to capture that weapons, ammunition. So they attack on the fortress prison. In the armed fight that followed the commander of the Basri was killed and the prisoner released, though there were only 7 of them. Only 7 prisoners were there and they released them. Yet the Basri was hated by all because it stood for the despotic power of the king. That Basri is the symbol of the power of the king. So already they hated that fortress prison. So they started damaging this prison. The fortress was demolished and its stone fragmented were sold in the market to all those who wished to keep a souvenir of its destruction. So like this they started attacking on the Basri, hope that they will get their ammunition. Storming of the Basri, 14 July 1789. Due to severe winter, the harvest was not good. The price of the bread rose and hoarders exploited the situation. So severe winter because of that hail were there and harvest was not good at that time. So harvest was not good means what? The poor suffered lot and prices already hiking. Rise of the rose of the bread rose and bread prices rose and hoarded means the uh, speculators exploited the situation. There was not enough supply of their daily bread. Angry women stormed into the shops. They started storming on the shops. Rumors spread that the king had ordered Swiss troops to move into the city. That was rumor only, not actually king ordered, but this rumor spread over among the National Assembly people, third estate people. Fearing for their lives, some 7,000 men and women broke into number of government buildings in search of arms. So 7,000 people started marching towards the fortress Basli and they broke so many government buildings in search of arms. Agitated crowds stormed and destroyed the prison, Wesley. They totally destroyed this prison. The days that followed saw more rioting both in Paris and the countryside. So that day, more riots happened both in the countryside and the Paris. Now, Age of Enlightenment. Some philosophers had given their view, their thinking they had spread, their thought they spread among the people. So philosopher like 17th and 18th century was the age of the enlightenment. Various philosophers put forward their theories for the state to be based on equality and freedom. So many philosophers tried to spread their theories among the people based on the equality and the freedom. So among these, John Locke, Rousseau, and the Montesquieu. 3 were there. So first John Locke in his book, he wrote one book, Two Treatises of Government. Treatise of Government sought to refute the doctrine of the divine and absolute right of the monarch. Means they want to abolish the doctrine of the divine and they want to give, they want to abolish the monarchy right also. Second, Rousseau proposed a form of government. Now, Rousseau has given his view that he wants which type of government? Form of government based on a social contract between people and their representatives. He wants that representative and the people, they were having their social contract. So, next, in the spirit of the law, that is the book name, Montesquieu proposed a division of power within the government between the legislative, the executive and the judiciary. Now Montesquieu don't want to give whole power in one hand. So he want to divide the power. He wrote in the book The Spirit of the Law, in that he told that the power should be divided among the 3 categories, that is the legislative, the executive and the judiciary. Now some political symbols were there. So that is in that first is the broken chain. That broken chain represent chain were used to fetter slaves, mean to free slaves. A broken chain stand for the act of becoming free. This broken chain is a symbol for the act of becoming free. These all political symbols are very very important one. Now second, the bundle of rods or fasces. One rod can be easily broken but not a entire bundle. Strength lies in unity. So entire bundle of rods can't be broken easily. So this bundle of rods stand for the unity. Third, the eye within a triangle, radiating light. The all-seeing eye stand for knowledge. The lights of the sun will drive away the clouds of ignorance. The light of the sun will drive away the clouds of ignorance. Means what? The sunlight shining and away the clouds of the ignorance. Whatever the ignorance were there, it started uh, abolishing, or it started ignoring this. Next, scepter, symbol of royal power. This scepter is a symbol of royal power. Next is snake biting its tail to form a ring. Symbol of eternity. Ring has no beginning or no end. This is a full circle. No beginning, no end. So symbol of eternity. Next is red Phrygian cap. Cap worn by slave on being free. When the slave free from that, so they used to wear this Phrygian cap. That is the red color cap. Blue, white, red. The national color of France. This national color of France is blue, white and red. Next is the winged women. Personification of the law. This is showing us the law. Next is the law tablet. The law is the same for all and all are equal before it. So this tablet showing this, we all are equal in front of the law. So all the laws are same for all the people. No rich, no poor, all are same in front of the law. So the law are equal for all. So all these are the political symbol and it is very, very important. Next, reforms made by National Assembly. So already in third state people formed National Assembly. Now which reform they made? The National Assembly created their own declaration of right of man and citizen. So they have declared their rights for the man and citizen. Approved by the National Assembly of France, August 26, 1789. This all the rights approved by the National Assembly. Liberty, equality and fraternity. The slogan of the French Revolution 1789. Liberty, equality, fraternity. The National Assembly, the new National Assembly created the historic and influential document, the Declaration of the Rights of Man. They presented document, the name of the document, the Declaration of the Rights of Man, which stated the principle that all men had equal rights under the law. So this document stated that all men are equal in front of the law. So all are having equal rights. Rights such as now which rights? Rights such as the right to life, freedom of speech, freedom of opinion, equality before law were established as natural rights of citizens. It was the duty of the state to protect each citizen's natural right. So according to National Assembly, it is a duty of the it was a duty of the state to protect each citizen's natural right. Right, which right? Right such as the right to life, all are having right to life. Freedom of speech, all should get the right to speech, give their speech. Freedom of opinion, all should get the right to give their opinion, and all should be equal before the law. So all these rights are mentioned, the Declaration of the Rights of Man, under these documents. Now limited the authority of the king and divided the government into three branches, that is executive, judiciary and legislative. So the National Assembly completed a draft of the constitution in 1791. Its main objective was to limit the power of the monarch. Main objective of the National Assembly was to limit the power of the monarch. So previously all the powers in one hand, that is the monarch. So they want to limit this that power. These powers instead of being concentrated in the hands of one person were now separated and assigned to different institutions. Already I told you in this previous one slide, that is the legislature, executive and the judiciary. This made France a constitutional monarchy. Religious power. Declared freedom of religion. So all are having freedom to follow any religion. Took over and sold church lands. All are having right to purchase and sell church land, placed the French Catholic Church under the power of the state. So all the Catholic Church under the control of the state, and clergy was to be elected and receive government salaries. So clergy is not from the by birth, but they was to be elected and receive government salaries. So all these are the religious. Now political rights. Declared all males were equal before the law. All males, irrespective of their caste, creed, they all are equal before the law. Limited the power of the monarchy. Monarchy should have now limited power, not all whole powers in one hand. They had limited power. Established the legislative assembly to make laws and collect taxes. So they established legislative assembly. So that assembly, legislative assembly only having right to make laws and collect taxes from the people. Granted all tax-paying male citizen the right to elect members of the legislative assembly. All tax-paying male citizens the right to elect members of the legislative assembly. Those who are paying taxes, they are having right to elect their representatives. Now, social and economic rights. Abolish special privileges of the nobility. So they abolished all the privileges previously. What clergy and nobility got special privileges, so they abolished all the privileges of the nobility. Second, announce an end to feudalism. Feudalism, feudal taxes, indirect taxes, they were collected previously. Monarch collected this, so they announced to end this feudalism. Taxes will be levied on ability to pay them. So whatever the ability of the person to pay, according to that, taxes levied by the government. So I hope you understand all these rights, that is religious, political, social and economic. Now 5 rights stated in the Declaration of the Rights of Man. So this flowchart you draw in your copy. So freedom of religion, freedom of speech, freedom of the press, guaranteed property rights, liberty, equality, fraternity, rights of the people to create laws and right to a fair trial. So all these rights stated in the Declaration of the Rights of Man by the National Assembly in their documents, special documents, right? So I think you understand all these rights. Now the Constitution of 1791. The National Assembly was vested the power to make laws. Now in that 2 groups were there, active citizen and the passive citizen. Active citizen voted for a group of electors who in turn chose the assembly. Means the active citizen voted for a group of electors, means they want to elect elections, or who in turn chose the assembly. So active citizen comprise of only men about 25 years of age who paid taxes. Whom we call active citizen? The citizen who comprise of only men above who completed 25 years of age and who paid taxes. The remaining man and all women were called passive citizen. So left out all the women and men and those who are not paying taxes, they all were called passive citizen. So I hope that you clear now active citizen and passive citizen. So to qualify as an elector and then as a member of the assembly, so a man had to belong to the highest bracket of taxpayer. So a man, if a man want to be electors and who want a member of the assembly, he should pay highest taxes. That man is had a right to called active citizen. Next, Constitution of 1791. The new legislative assembly is created to make laws, collect taxes and decide on issues of war and peace. Now, according to that Constitution 1791, new legislative assembly formed, and that assembly had right to make laws, to collect taxes and to discuss over the issues of war and peace. 6 reforms of National Convention. Now, which 6 reform we will discuss? Opened new school. So many school they opened. Supported ideas of education. They want to support the ideas of universal elementary education, means they want to spread education and especially elementary education. Encourage religious toleration. So encourage that all are equal in front of law. All religions will get equal importance. Establish wage and price controls to stop inflation. So hiking prices they want to stop, and they establish the wage and price control policies. Adopted metric system. Metric system, they started measuring system. Abolished slavery in French colonies, and they abolished all the slavery process in French colony. So here we finish part 2 of our French Revolution. So we will meet in part 3. Till that, okay, bye. Take care.